I ain't gonna kid you guys, this is one of the strangest baits I've ever seen. But if you're sleeping on this and not throwing it right now, you're not gonna know why it's become the hottest bait in the country. We're gonna friggin' smoke them on this thing. I'm gonna show you exactly how you can go catch fish like this too. 6 cents Bodega. Bodega's for lunch. Bodega. What is up, MFers? I'm pumped for today's video because I have been getting so many questions about a new bait from 6 Cents Fishing. This one right here, actually, the old Bodega. Here, oh, there, you can read it now. And this bag will be staying in my boat 365 days a year because this odd-looking morsel is very, very, very deadly effective all year long. Bunch of different types of rig. But I can't remember a bait that my buddies, my people I'm competing against, Elite Series guys all the way across the country have hit me up and asked me, is this bait for real? Is it as good as it looks underwater? And the answer to that, you'll see in today's video, is a resounding yes. It does absolutely smoke the bass. Today, we're gonna break down exactly how I am fishing this. Now, like I said, I got a ton of questions about this bait. Today I'm going to be answering them. If you have a bait from 6 Cents or any bait you want to know how to fish better, drop a comment down below. Let me know what that bait is. Without further ado, let's go rip some. All right, we got all sorts of stuff tied up. We got an energy drink rolling right there. Yeah, bat. But we got little chopping baits. We got buzz bait, big live bait. We got a hangover down there, some sea urchins. We got some big 6 Cents minnows that ain't been released yet. And maybe the most favorite thing that I'm throwing today, which I have in my hand right now, is this little 6 Cents Bodega. We're fishing them on a free rig. This is my favorite way to fish this thing. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more if we catch some dang fish on this joker. But yeah, throwing it on the big rod, big hook, 7.3 heavy Milliken rod. Really what I'm doing here is I got waypoints in this lake because I've fished it, you know, a little bit in the past. I haven't, man, I don't know when the last time I was here. Maybe this spring. I haven't been here much the last couple of years, but it's got giants in it, man. Let's see what freaking lives here. I'm kind of hopping around these waypoints to start, looking at places where it's, you know, isolated brush, isolated stumps, stuff like that. Looks like we got some big old nasty catfish out there on some of this stuff, which will kind of make it interesting. Maybe we'll have one come up and blast a Bodega. I want to catch me a cat dega, big old cat dega eater. I'm going to be looking for a lot of isolated brush. I'm going to fish some hard spots, drag around a little bit, which again, this Bodega is going to be good for that too. What's going on, man? This place has them. It's got big ones. It's got a lot of little schooly fish usually, so maybe we'll go check those out. A lot of times, you know, some big ones do get under bait balls and stuff, but September into October here, this isolated cover, like what we got out here, look at this. We got big old stump. By big old stump, I mean a pretty damn isolated stump. It's got a fish right there, a couple fish by it. Looks like it's got like a bass and a couple catfish, maybe some spotted bass around it. But I'm gonna be looking for a lot of that stuff, make a couple casts, move on. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. You know, this Bodega, it's like you fire it in there, and if one's freaking there and gonna do it, he usually does it when the thing hits the bottom, or I've had him even catch it on the fall. So I'm covering water, I'm getting barked at. There's donks in here. What else can you ask for? Let's do this. There we go. There we go. God dang, that's a little much. That's a little much. One of them showing off piglets, bud. There we go. There we go. Brush pile fish. Here we go. That's probably a 7-pounder, 6.5, 7-pounder. Awesome. Good start. Good start. My cricket frickin' flew off. Cricket flew. Yeah, bud. Another Bodega fish. Put the Bodega in them. Hell yeah. Little craw pincher down there in his throat. I said, no problem, bud. Bodegas for lunch. That bite is so fun. That was a group of like 5 or 6 of them this size. He's not a giant one, but I mean, I freaking threw this thing in there and pretty much just waved at him. Just kind of waved the rod around a little bit, and he freaking come up and freaking had it. And he didn't sling my cricket to the moon, which is nice. Does he got it? There we go. There we go. That was a pretty good one too. Oh my god. Wallering up here. Easy, 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 easy. Hell yeah, that's the way we're gonna start right there. Look at this guy. Little 6 cents bodega right in the mouth. Daggered him up. Dagger. And that's how we're gonna freaking start things off. I mean, it's not a monster one, but that's a freaking fatty little Nirvana 6 cents bodega. It's a good way to get on the board. I gotta show you guys how I'm fishing this thing. This freaking bait has become the hottest dang big fish bait in the country. I get questions all the time from my friends about this bait right here, and this is why. It catches them. Let's catch some more. Swimming with it. Oh my god, this fish was all the way up here by the dang boat. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. Doesn't look like a giant one. Hell yeah. Get up here. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Look at that one, folks. Look at that one, folks. I just pulled up here to this little point right here, and I just know from the past it's got a little rock patch on it. Might even be some shell in that area, but I was dragging this thing, and this one come up and just freaking, I don't know, grabbed it and swam off with it. So many of these bites on this bodega seem to be like that, where they just get it and they have it and they're going with it. I think a big reason for that is this free swinging weight, this free rig system. I'll show you how I rigged that here in just a second, but it's kind of like a Carolina rig where they can't feel that weight on there, and so they just swim off with it. They don't ever know that they're hooked really. So this is another one of those where they just freaking are swimming up with it. Not a giant one, but I'll take that one any freaking day. 3.5 probably. I don't know, probably close to 4 actually. Pretty solid fish. Hell yeah. Real quick, let me show you the rod reel line and really the whole rig that I'm throwing today with this brand new 6 cents bodega. And this is my favorite way to fish it, which is on the free rig. I'll get into that in a second, but the rod I'm throwing it on is my favorite for this technique. It's a 7.3 heavy Milliken series, the new Masterclass Black series, and it's perfect for this technique. It's my favorite jig rod. I told you guys that in my rod video I just put out. But it's perfect for this technique because this 7.3 heavy is a little bit more of a true fast rod, and so it's got a little more tip to it, which is perfect for when you throw this free rig, because I like to impart a lot of action, let that thing really, you know, I twitch it really sharp, let it kind of flow and hop around there on the bottom, and just, you know, snapping it up really hard, burning it in. It's a perfect rod for that situation. But also, like I said, it's my favorite jig rod. I throw a swim jig on it too. I wanted these rods to be super versatile, and this one is. It does so many different things in my boat, so I don't have to carry as many rods with me. I'll link all this down below, but there is a few of the 7.3 heavy left, so go check them out. There's a whole series of rods. I'm super proud of these guys. I'm not going to stop talking about them. 7:4:1 gear ratio Corrado, and then like 16 to 20 pound fluorocarbon. 7 or 8 speed reel is great for this technique. I don't really have a preference, to be honest. Kind of give and take. They're very similar, of course. But this is the free rig I'm throwing it on. And why the free rig? You know, I do love to throw this bodega on a jig as a jig trailer, whether that be a big football jig or a big divine jig, depending on the cover I'm fishing around. I like to tie a bunch of big rubber. This big trailer with a big rubber jig is absolutely deadly. We'll probably be throwing that a little bit later today as well. Then you got this weight here. It's kind of funky. A lot of guys don't really understand what it's about, and that's a good thing. You should be throwing stuff that other people aren't throwing, and that's something we've always tried to do here in the MF Nation, is throw not obscure stuff, but just stuff that the fish haven't seen before. It gets more bites. You guys get how it works, but the reason that this thing does get more bites over a jig in a lot of situations, is because it's falling a little bit different than your jig, your Texas rig. Jigs and Texas rigs, of course, have always, you know, some do spirals if you give like a really lightweight, especially a jig, or a really light Texas rig if it's pegged. But this thing will fall straight down. And of course, I put this little 6-inch casting teardrop sinker. That's a 1/2 ounce tungsten sinker. I like as heavy as I can get away with for the free rig, because the heavier the weight is, the more separation it's going to create between the weight and the bait on the fall. And the reason that's important at times is, sometimes I don't think it matters that much, especially when you're dragging, which this is deadly for, I'll tell you in a second. But what's important with that is sometimes is when this falls and this weight gets more and more separate, it's going to hit the bottom, fall straight down, hit the bottom. And as soon as it does that, this bait's going straight down like that. It's going to level out and kind of plane out. And with as much action as these legs have, it's going to cause that bait to go kind of swoop down, and it's going to cause those legs just to have a little bit of natural motion. And so if a fish sees this falling, it's going to be following it down, or it's going to see it coming. It's probably going to come up to it, and all of a sudden the bait's going to stop and kind of level out in its face. That's why a free rig is so effective for fish that see the bait falling, that are suspended, or really just finding the bait, because it's good water quality. So at that point, what I'm going to do is if I don't get bit there, I'm going to give it a couple seconds to kind of stall out right there. I'm going to tighten it up, and so my bait will come down to the weight. And then I like to hop it. I like to, you know, twitch it, stop and go, burn it off the bottom. And this thing actually has a ton of flap when you burn it, which is crazy, man. They freaking chew this thing when you burn it in a lot of times and just kill it. I love that. But another great reason I love to throw this free rig, and you'll see me throw it a lot today, is on just some typical bottom stuff where you drag a Carolina rig, a shaky head, a jig, you know, football jig. And the reason this, I think, is a little bit more effective a lot of times, a wobble head is another example we'll talk about in a second, is because when this is down there, you get all that freedom of movement. And so the fish are used to seeing a bait that's kind of just, you know, stuck in place. They're used to seeing, you know, Texas rigs and jigs with that fixed weight to the body, there's not a whole lot of side-to-side wobble. But every time this thing's dragging down this tungsten weight and it's hitting things, it's not only making noise, but this bait can do whatever it wants, whether it, you know, it creeps over the top of a log. And again, there's some separation between that weight and the bait. No matter what it hits, if it's just dragging on the bottom, it's just really going to cause this bait to vibrate and really give a lot of action to the back of the tails of this bait. And that's what you want. This thing is just, I don't know, man. You can let it sit there on the bottom. I probably catch the most of my fish just letting it sit after I stall it, because these legs will sit on the bottom and have so much movement. When it's at rest, it's just freaking flowing around. It's a deadly bait. I get more questions about this bait since it came out than any bait that we probably ever released with 6 cents. Like, hey, how do I rig that? How do I fish that? It's kind of a unique looking bait, and it comes in 3 different sizes now. All 3 are stocked up pretty good. So, you know, they all have their benefits, but this giant one, I think it's a 6.5 inch size, a free rig or a jig trailer, it is absolutely money for me. So let's get slinging around a little bit more, and not a little bit more. Let's throw it a lot more. Let's reel some bigs on this today. Oh, he's got me in the tree. He got me in the tree. Is he on there still? He's on there still. He's on there still. Yeah. Hell yeah. Dang solid. Well, look at that. Fat. I gotta show you guys this little stick I just threw into you, but what do you know? Mr. Bodega. Right there. Free rig pod. Freaking deadly, man. Just had one freaking smoke it on this dock right here back behind me, but didn't get a hook in them, and then come around a little bit, and that sumbitch is eating down there, but that's fun. I like that bite too. Oh, he's coming at me again. Not as small as I was thinking it might have been. Oh, that's a good one. Come on, bud. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that one. Oh, buddy. Hey, buddy, that's not a giant one, but I'll freaking take him today. Hell yeah. Little corner of this dock right here. 5-pounder. 5.5-pounder. Corner pocket. Bodega. You know it. Yeah, bud. Came over and crushed that dagger. Oh, bear hook pattern. Got that one on the bear hook pattern. I was so excited. I was gonna be like, I filmed the whole video with one bodega, but you know what? That's okay. That's a nice solid fat 3-pound guy. He can have the dagger. And he can have his life too. Let's get him back. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed that I don't have my, I think it's called Black and Blue Special or something like that. Or Black and Blue Pro, because that color looks badass. I do have some regular Black and Blue, but I just got those and I just haven't had the time. I was in Nebraska at the Husker game and everything, but haven't had the time to get those put in the boat. I'm sure there'd be money here. I'm sure Black and Blue will also. But I got this whole bag of these new bodegas. And if you guys haven't seen them, there's the small ones in here too. Wow, just throwing them everywhere. Here is the biggest size we've been catching them on. And then there, let me lay it on my hand. There's the smaller, and there's the schmollest. I caught some giant smallies and spotted bass on a Ned head with this guy. This one, I mean, is just gonna be a perfect all-around size. A smaller jig trailer profile, Texas rig, free rig, you know, Nico rig. You can do that with this guy too. You can do it with the big one as well, but that's about your typical standard jig trailer size. Now I throw this big one when I'm down here in Texas just for a big profile for giant ones. But yeah, this is what my crickets look like. And I like to, since they come in a clamshell, I like to throw them in bigger containers whenever I can get away with that to, you know, not take up as much space in the boat. What is this color? Is this freaking, that's like a California 420 type color. Look at the little baby guy. And that's, of course, that's why you have them in a clamshell, is because they end up fucked. But God, it's a good bait, man. I'm excited for this one. Hopefully you guys don't sell them all out, because I need to go freaking get some more colors next time I'm at the shop. Oh, come here, bodega boy. Oh, there goes the dagger. Shoot, thought he was a big one. Thought he was just swimming at me and being all big. Bodega, free rig fish, and he really wanted to hurt my hand. That was fun, just kind of, you know, got tore up by that guy, but whatever. I'm with it. If I'm catching one, I don't care. It's a guy right here, that'll Nirvana, big dagger, mega dagger. I like that mega dagger. Eating the mega dagger today, bad. There we go. One of them ones swimming around up high. That's the right kind of cricket right there. Oh God, I can't even land them back there. Look at all my shit. I got shit everywhere. I got a bunch of new prototype stuff. Throw some of that a little bit. I got cameras. I got drop shots apparently. I got a box of deep crankbaits, a filming stick, and that's without having to step on this stuff. Oh, get down there and catch him. He's not a giant one, it's a 4-pounder. Deal. That's what I'm talking about. Just kind of was moseying on over to some brush piles over here, and I saw a couple floating up high. Kind of looks similar to some of the stuff we're seeing down there right now. A lot of bait out there. Look at all that bait. It ain't our tan, but it's fun. There we go. 6-cents Aussie eater. That's a little Aussie eater. Come here, Aussie eater. It's not a big one, but that's a solid one. I'd take that in a lot of tournaments, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's times in like big fish tournaments when I take that. There goes my dang Aussie. Hey, it floats. I'm gonna go grab it when I'm done here. Hey, bud. Solid one, actually. He freaking came up and gulped that thing too. Look at that. That thing is gone. Or it was gone when it was still on here anyway. Hell yeah. Good one, dude. Myself another little Ozio. Ghost Pro Minnow or something.